Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. So, welcome back to Dating Differently with Demi and Dr. Conti. And today we're talking about slow is the new sexy. So, you all know we've combined our expertise to create a strategic roadmap that helps you first prepare for healthy love so that you can confidently choose with clarity and sustain the right relationship. So, hey, Conti.
Hello, Demi.
All right. Last week we talked about are you dating who they are or who you want them to be? And this week we really want to break down why it's so important to slow down.
Mhm.
So, why does slowing down really matter?
Well, I think that we happen to be in a period of time where everything is fast. So
Mhm.
we have conceptualized that fast is better. We got fast food, and you don't have to drive to a movie. You can throw on a quick fast movie on television. There's just so many things that happens really fast. But when you are cultivating a friendship, a relationship, a courtship, moving slow really communicates self worth. It communicates standards, and you get a chance to really get to know a person. When we move fast, it sometimes most of the time turn out wrong. And what I've learned, of course, in my business is that people who want to move fast, Demi,
Yeah.
typically want to move fast to hide something, or before you can realize they are a narcissist or they have really, really bad habits that you may not want to deal with. Or so if I can go fast and love bomb you or get you into this really, really quickly, then you may miss something. And that's typically what happens.
So basically, we're doing it because it gives you time to see what's real and not what really just feels good in a moment, I would say. And that's what I just heard you say. The funny thing is so many people are used to going really quickly. And I know I've experienced this. You get a lot of pressure because when you're someone that says, I'm slow, I move slow, I do this slow. Um, if you find a good one, now let's talk about that. We know we can talk about the good, bad, and ugly, right? But with
Mhm.
a really good person, they can almost feel like maybe you're really not interested because their past experiences have been those that really like them, right, are moving at a different pace.
Mhm.
So, I was talking to someone earlier this week and I was sharing, the main thing with that is making sure you're still communicating,
Mhm.
making sure that you're still consistent so that it doesn't make someone feel like you're not interested. So, we're not talking about being so slow that you're not, that you seem to be not interested or nonchalant or just a little aloof. It just means taking your time to get to know the person.
Right. You said something about when you let somebody know that you're wanting to move slow. I don't necessarily prescribe saying you to somebody
Mhm.
that you want to move slow. I don't think
Mm,
that's something that you need to share. I
okay.
think that's something that you need to show. I think that when you
Mhm.
show that you're going to be you're just setting the pace that you want to move at. And that shows that you're intentional, not desperate. And it allows you to see if they're intentional. So
Mhm.
I think your actions is what shows that you're intentional and you moving with purpose. If you have in your mind, I am dating with a purpose or dating to gather information, then patience builds that anticipation. And it also requires respect for you when you're saying with your body language, not necessarily with your mouth, with how you receive and how you perceive and how you move, that you're not in any kind of rush and you're not going to be rushed. Allow somebody else to rush you out of your comfort space. I think it's more about how you move than what you say.
So kind of like just being disciplined.
Mm-hmm. And
keeps
you
you from,
regulating your emotions.
yeah, discipline from keeps you from forcing potential, so that you know it's just not the attraction that you want to try to make work, or
Mm-hmm.
and really just to find out if you're aligned. And so I can appreciate that. So, one of the things I knew when I decided to date intentionally is I don't have to rush intimacy. I don't have to overinvest early. I can walk away if it's misalignment or even if I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that can be difficult too,
Mm-hmm.
but understanding that I really wanted to choose someone because they had the qualities, um, that that I was looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and it was real compatibility,
Mm-hmm.
real compatibility. So
Sometimes, sometimes I mean, people don't realize they're moving fast. So, you know, let's touch on what that looks like because sometimes one of the things that I like to say and I want to continue to say is that we have to watch our patterns.
mhm.
And sometimes our patterns are things that we've done. It's been all day. They haven't texted me yet. So I'm going to text them. I haven't talked to him all day or her all day. And so why haven't they called me? So, having that feeling like you got to constantly text real fast, constantly text all the time. You feel like or when you're talking, I'm constantly telling my clients, you don't have to overshare. Some stuff should not be talked about early. That's moving too fast. A person has to earn your trust and they have to earn you feeling comfortable to tell them some of your dire secrets. I always say we have three personas. We have a public persona, we have a personal persona, and we have a private persona. Moving too fast for me is you meet somebody and you already telling them something about your private stuff that
Mhm.
you don't even know if this person's going to last a week, a month, 3 months. They haven't earned the right to know that much about you. That's the kind of stuff that when I say slow is the new sexy, slow is the new sexy because it is sexy, it is powerful, it is empowering when you can move, watch how you move, and enjoy life. Like enjoy your life. If he calls, he calls. If she calls, she calls. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And I don't mean playing games with people.
Yeah.
I don't mean playing games with me. I'm just saying learning to regulate your emotions, acting emotionally committed before any exclusivity. You're given, as they always say, wifey and girlfriend privileges, and you've just known the person a week, a day, 2 months, a month, all those things. Slow is the new sexy. Taking your time, getting to know people, moving too fast usually looks like desperation and fantasizing about something in the future when you don't even know if he likes cornbread or not. I'm just
I
making
always
that up. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know small stuff yet, but you're already fantasizing on what the future gonna look like with this person. Slow it down, pull it back. Easy
say that's so funny. I'm thinking about it. I remember going on, one of my 21 dates, right?
down.
And we went out to eat, sat in the car and talked because, for those that know, I don't, you can't come over. I'm not going to your place. And it was someone that, I liked. And he says, so why don't we go to your place? And I was like, I'm not taking you over there. You're a stranger.
That's
I really specifically said that. Now, that didn't work out, but you all know I always talk about 22 because it does come a time when you meet someone where you think, I like them. No eyebrow raises, no red flags, but you still have to, temper down the
still keep
emotions.
normal.
Nothing. And so I remember, in the beginning, I drove and we met wherever we went. Like we would just meet there. I wouldn't ride in a car with them. And then it
Mhm.
was probably a month and a half or so. Then we would still meet in the same local kind of parking lot. And then I would ride with him. And of
Mhm.
course, that was after I took a picture of the license plate and everything. And I said,
Text me, hey,
yeah,
we're gonna be right here. Look, this is what the car looked like.
right. But I do remember when we got to a point where it was like, it got a little frustrating because we had to hang out a little longer. We were closing down the little restaurants or cafes or the coffee shops.
Mhm.
We were talking more in the car just to spend more time together, but it still wasn't time for me to go to his house or for him to come to my house. And it took real, like I think you used the word discipline. It
Mhm.
took a lot of discipline for me to say, nope, don't do it. As
Mhm.
much as you want to,
Mhm.
don't do it.
Mhm.
So that was the tough part. And I know how do you do it? I mean, I know that it was hard.
Mhm.
Um,
I
it,
think what you said is very important. People have to realize, we, all of us, if you're trying to really find that person who's going to be someone that's really longevity, someone that's worth being with you longevity, you have to realize that this is what it's going to take.
yeah.
Case in point, one of the reasons why I don't like long distance. And so I did meet, we call him Dallas. And so Dallas was very nice, but in order for us to go out, and Dallas had no problems driving to Houston, but I, I'm not inviting you to my house. We're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So he would drive to Houston. We would go to like Uptown Park, or we go to City Center, and spend the whole day, eating out, or go to a movie, or go over to the little bowling area right there in that area. And then he'd drive back to Dallas, or he'd stay in a hotel and drive back first thing that morning. But I wasn't going to a hotel with you. Don't know you that well. I'm not inviting you to my house. Don't know you that well. Surely not driving back to Dallas with you. So, how many times can you really do that
Yeah.
and feel like, so to me, it just wasn't fair to him, because I wasn't going to be rushing anything. And I just didn't think, you driving, I understand that's a lot. You're showing me a lot to
Yeah.
drive that far, but how long was that really going to last? Because I'm just not going to, I want to take my time. And I think we all need to take our time and get to know people before you invite them into your space and into your home. And let me say this, especially women with children underage, or girls in your home, because or grandchildren, granddaughters in your home. And you don't know it, you're not knowing who these people really are, and inviting them to your house, and so many things happen. And before you know it, something has happened. You thought this was somebody you knew, because they started out really nice, and you just didn't give it enough time. You just didn't give it enough time. So, you ask people, say, well, why do you think we do that? One of the questions was to me, Demi, Dr.
Mhm.
So why do you think we rush? Well, for one, we're afraid of, this is going good. If I don't, I'm gonna lock this in. But you're not locking anything in. If it's really meant for you, that
Yeah.
person is going to wait. Matter of fact, you're going to be more desirable. You're going to be more respected. So fear of losing the person makes someone want to just like rush, 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 mistaking chemistry. But we got so much chemistry. This has got to be the one. Chemistry doesn't mean compatibility. It's just a feeling. It doesn't mean compatibility. Or lonely. It feels good because you finally got somebody you're spending time with. Like you said, y'all would meet, go out, have a good time. This feeling really good. So we might as well go ahead and jump the broom, or lock it in, or come to
Yeah.
my house, or become intimate. And as soon as that happens, people are wondering, all of a sudden something changed. And you're sitting somewhere crying, like, how did I get in this situation again? And it was the pattern of moving too fast, the pattern of rushing, the pattern of feeling like you needed something, you had to be attached to somebody, all of that way too soon. And even trauma bonding,
Yeah.
it happens. And it's all because we need to just slow it down. Slow is the new sexy.
I like how you said, and I just want to repeat it because I thought that was so important. The slow really builds real attraction. And you said it's showing that self-control.
Yep.
It shows that you have confidence, it shows that you have standards, you're not led by your feelings, you're led really by intention. And I love that because that's exactly what happens. And it is different. I
Yeah.
don't want to say it's not easy, it's hard. It's not hard.
It's
It's not
challenging.
easy. It's just different. And it
Mhm,
can be challenging,
mhm,
but it's so worth it. It's so
mhm.
worth it. Because
I was just going to say, if you all are watching, I see a lot of people watching, interact with us. Let me see you put slow is the new sexy in the chat. Slow is the new sexy. Go
I
right
love
ahead.
it.
Didn't mean to cut
So
you off.
no, no, no. Guys, we love to have Conti and I, we talk about these things during the week and we come back and just thought this is really good information and we really want to share it because talking to those that are divorced after 20, 30 years and you're now kind of back out there dating, deciding to do it again, or if you're a career person and decided to do it later in life, or if you're an empty nester now, it is very different. This is how you date differently.
Mhm.
And I want to share with everyone also that if you've gone out and you've done it before and you kind of didn't always work out, I want to tell you, give yourself grace
Yes.
because I had to do the same thing. I had to tell myself, those that first couple of times, and I thought I should have known better. I'm smart, I'm successful, I've run this business, I've,
Mhm, mhm,
done all these different things. How did I end up like this? Right? Or how did I end up in a situation, bawling or crying about someone who wasn't even worth my time? What am I doing differently? And this is why we put this together. This is why we talk about dating differently. But a friend shared with me, and I remember it. He's like a brother to me. He said, Demi, you haven't dated in 26 years. Give yourself grace.
mhm,
Give yourself grace.
mhm,
And I took that and ran with it
mhm,
and sat back and through the experiences and then the training said, this is where we are. And I know
mhm,
we talked about this before, Conti, and this is what we want to share. So I want to give that information out too. So as we share things, the good, the bad, and ugly, and just the experiences we've had, I always say, give yourself grace.
mhm, mhm,
This is what you really want. If your heart's desire is to have the love of your life, to be married again, to have a long-term relationship, whatever that looks like to you, and you're ready to do it, DM us, but show yourself grace. You can do it. You can start over. And like you said, slow is the new sexy.
mhm. I see a few of those slow is the new sexy in the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else watching, put slow is the new sexy. We got to get that in our spirits. One of the things that you said, though, uh, you talked about giving yourself grace. One of the other things that I want to make sure we bring to the forefront, because this was my situation. Once you start practicing
Mm.
these things attract healthy people. I always say sick attract sick, healthy attract healthy. So you may be dating someone and you're going through my 5 stages of vetting, and you may be like, okay, this I'm on stage 4 and this person is really still hanging in there. Everything's not, everybody that's a good person may not be the good person for you. So just because they're not somebody that you've been accustomed to, you're waiting for the shoe to drop, and they're gonna be a cheater, or they're gonna do something you've experienced in the past. That may not be that person, but it still doesn't mean that's the person for you. Because I was so excited learning how to attract healthy, intentional love. I thought, oh gosh, where you been? I need to marry you. I need to marry you. I need to marry you. And then I'm like, okay, what you like to do? What? I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't something like, abusive. It was just something that I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You think we're gonna go camping every weekend on sleeping on the ground? You know, no. So sometimes, even though this is a part of being slow for men and women. This is a part of being slow and taking your time and being intentional, because it could be a good person, but the word talks about being not being unequally yoked. And so many, we talked about this last week when we got off, me, you, and Danica Carruthers. Y'all, if y'all missed last week's show, you got to go back and listen to it. It was amazing. And when we got off with you all, we just stayed on and started talking. And it was so good. Demi said, you know what, let me hit record because this is so good. But one of the things that we talked about was the word says you should not be unequally yoked. But everybody automatically thinks that means spirituality. Well, definitely if you believe in one, you know, religious belief and somebody else believes a different one, that's definitely going to create a problem. But you could be both Baptists, but they like bungee jumping and you don't like leaving the house. That's going to be a problem too, you know. So unequally yoked mean you have to be like-minded. And when you're dating with intention and really exercising the slow is the new sexy, what you're doing is you're looking to see where exactly do you align, if you even align, you know.
I love it. That's you basically said, people used to say, or there's a saying that opposites attract, but opposites might create chemistry, but alignment creates stability. And it seems exciting at first because it does when you're doing things with people that you're not used to doing different things with and trying new things, and they might be really into it. And I want to go into that's why you need to move slow, because sometimes people do things because they're like, you know what? I met Demetra. I met Demi, and she likes to work out. She likes to go for walks. She likes to play golf. She likes to do all these things. I'm going to do them with her because finally I met a normal person, right? But when you don't rush and you really start noticing things, you know, maybe we don't like the same type of things. Maybe you did it a few times in the beginning, but if I'm a health nut and the other person's a foodie, we're not going to match later on, right? If I'm walking and running everywhere and they're halfway up the stairs and they have to stop to rest, that's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
Just lifestyles don't always match. Maybe one person's frugal and the other person's extravagant.
Oh, one person's generous and one person's stingy. Hint, hint.
You know what, Conti? That makes me think of one of the times we were talking, and we're talking about slowing down, right? Because under pressure, people show you who they really are,
Yeah,
right? You see different moods when life is lifing, when they're tired, when they're angry, irritable. But I know that you had an experience that you saw a different side of someone that you basically had to say, we had to stop the conversation.
yeah,
I think you said you guys were talking and he was driving and
yeah. Yeah, and so sometimes it's like, okay, wait a minute, everything is going good, but I'm seeing again, that slow is the new sexy lets you see how people handle conflict, how
right.
people communicate when they're stressed, how they communicate when they're sad or irritated or tired. Because we're all different when we're tired or hungry, what I'm saying? All of those different things. So it allows you to be able to see that. I often say the world goes through 4 changes in 12 months. You got your summer, spring, fall, winter. So just imagine how many changes an individual, a human being, goes through in 12 months, in 4 months. And so we're rushing, and you might be you rushed into something, and you walking down the aisle. I saw something on social media, and I tried to save it or something. I couldn't. The guy at the table, they're getting ready to cut the cake, and I don't know what happened because the sound wasn't on there. It was just you could see the picture. You could and it cut to everybody's face. I don't know what happened, but he got so mad he smashed the wedding cake, and everybody was looking, and you saw the bride's face look like oh my God, what just happened? So obviously they didn't date long enough, or she ignored some things because he literally was upset, so upset he smashed the wedding cake. So you have to give people time to be themselves and let them show you, because people can pretend, imitate for quite some time. And particularly if you, another thing about long distance, if you're dating long distance, for instance, if you've been dating 6 months and it's long distance, that's equivalent to 3 months. Right. If you've been dating 3 months and it's long distance, y'all going out 2 times. Because when you see each other, you're not seeing each other enough to analyze and observe that person. So when you do see each other, you're happy to see each other. So everybody's on their good behavior. So it takes even longer time and a more slower intentional time if the person is long distance. And one more thing, you said about opposites attract. And you said something about, I don't know what your analogy was, but I was gonna say opposites attract may, and I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget it. It may spark the flame, but it is compatibility that keep the house from burning down. So you don't want just opposites attract, like you said. You want some compatibility because that's it may spark the flame, but that compatibility is what's going to keep the house from burning down.
It is. You touched on it because, in my 21, I had someone super, super duper nice. He was a couch potato. And if anyone knows me, I'm not a couch potato. People have to tell me, please stay home. Please. I mean, I may get a do nothing day every couple of 2-3 months. And then he said, I recall him saying that he didn't like flying. He only liked driving, and he wasn't going to drive anywhere more than 4 hours.
Where y'all gonna go?
Nowhere. Because you already know. People that know me know that I'm in some country somewhere.
Yes.
Another country.
Yes.
So, but he was super nice. Super, super nice guy. So it really does take time. But when you do find the person that, again, you're giving your full attention to, we're talking that we've already kind of gone through the numbers. We think, hey, I don't have an eyebrow raise. I don't see any yellow flags yet. I'm still moving slowly. Even when you're 8-9 months down the road, and you just said it too, it's still, you find out something new about them. There are new situations that occur that you say, wow. You have a moment or a chance to travel together. I mean, I'm talking about my own experience with 22. We had an opportunity to travel together and got lost.
Because I always say traveling too will make or break a friendship or a relationship. Traveling will make or break.
But you're together long enough to say, we were both able to say we were together for a super long time. We got lost together in a whole nother country. And we liked how we both, just interacted with one another.
Yeah.
When each person needed space, but you didn't have anywhere to go, we liked that we each gave each other space in that small little hotel room. And so It's just, you know, I always find out something new about him.
Right.
And it's exciting now to do
Right.
that. But it's still taking my time.
Mhm.
And we're taking our
And
time.
it protects your heart. So many people are, and I hear this a lot. Oh, it's just too much. I don't want to date again. I don't want to get, and it's not. I really think that it's not that you don't want to date again. It's not that, it's what you don't want to do is get involved with someone that's going to hurt you, someone that's you're going to attach to. But what's happening is we're attaching prematurely. We're attached. We're not evaluating long enough, and you're giving in. You're giving your bodies. You're giving your hearts. You're giving away your peace way too soon. Way too soon. When slow is the new sexy, and you are regulating your emotions, I'm having a great time because if it's not working, I'm okay with it. If it's working, this we're gonna see. This can be great. But the minute you see, if you see it's not working, it's okay. So it's not, you're not exuding all the energy. I look forward to the time when I know and that person know, and we are ready to go, and it's moving along, and we are, like you said, experiencing. But it doesn't have to be, and with our age group, a lot of times we also feel like we don't have enough much time. Girl, I ain't got that much time.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take that much time if you're doing it intentionally. What takes a lot of time is when you ignoring stuff that you know is not going to work because you want it to work so bad. And so you're moving, and you're moving fast, or you're moving forward, even if it's not fast, you're moving forward, and you see so many signs that's saying it's not going to work. And you cannot force something to fit when it's not going to fit. So that's what takes up a lot of energy. And so if we learn, practice, and train ourselves to just uh, move in the direction when it's working, and being true to ourselves and honest with ourselves when it's not, and moving around, it's not hard to get to, and it's not, it's okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
It's
so
okay.
I'm going to ask everyone, and I know it's in our group or community group on Facebook page, if nothing about them changed, would you still choose them long term?
Whew.
Yeah.
Well, we had that discussion with, I'm on y'all, I think number 9 or 10.
You were supposed to remember your number.
I was supposed
My
to remember my number.
number too.
It said number 9, but it's really number 10 because I said 9, I forgot one. So it's number 10. And so the space is opened up now for number 11. The space is open for number 11. So I'm putting that out there, single guys who are out there listening. However, when I was with number 9, I think it was, or 8, I felt like, you know what? There were so many good things, but everything in me, when I talk about that nervous system and being true to you, everything in me was saying something. Well, not even gonna say everything, something in me was saying, but there's just something I'm not going to be able to tolerate long term. Long term.
Mhm.
Going back to your question, and I ask myself that right now. I'm I'm adjusting, and it's, the other things are great, but if this particular thing right here was happening, and I was with this person for the next 5, 10 years, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that's a good question to ask yourself. And what happens is so many people end up tolerating and dealing with things years later that they thought was going to change, or they thought was going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's not going to change. It's not going to get better. See it what it is. If it's a duck, it's a duck. If it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. When people show you who they are, believe them, and just give them a beautiful thank you and farewell. Because the other thing too, right now, we've seen on social media with all of these killings lately. The other thing is sometimes when we just really move too fast, or
Mm.
when we really ignore things that our internal navigation and our nervous system is saying no, it does not, it's like a Russian roulette. It does not lead to a good outcome.
Mhm.
So, the whole thing is we really want you to be good with you and be true to you. And when that right person come along, when that healthy love is there, you're ready for it, but you're not rushed for it.
Because slow really isn't boring. It's intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and it's how you avoid confusing chemistry with compatibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, y'all. If you've enjoyed this conversation, we surely have enjoyed you. So if this conversation has spoke to you, be sure to follow me and Demi. Join us on the Dating Differently page. We have a community where when you hear us talk about questions, those questions are coming from questions that people have asked us on our dating page. So go to Facebook to Dating Differently and subscribe with us. Also subscribe to our YouTube page. We also have a YouTube page, and follow both of us on both of our social media, all of our social media handles. All right. And join us next week as we continue giving strategies so that we can help you date with clarity and move with intention. We want you to move with intention, choose with confidence. We look forward to continuing to help you love intentionally
Heal completely
and
and
date different.
differently.
Y'all have a great night.